This is not your child.
What you mean?
This is not your child. I'm just letting you know, so you won't, this is not your child.
So I've been paying child support on this man for what, 4 years, 5 years, and he telling me it's not my child?
Yeah, this is not your child, but I thank you for everything you're doing, but
Oh, baby, it ain't going down like that.
Why it's not? I mean, you about to go. I'm about to take you, but you about to just go.
I've been paying $700 a month for 4 years, bruh. You know how much that is?
But I'm just
That's like $8,400 a year. 4 years.
I'm letting you know so you won't get a DNA test that he's not your child.
Man, that's like $30-some thousand. Either you got the $30,000 to give me back, or it's gonna be an issue.
We can work something out. Can we just work something out?
I mean, what you trying to work out, bro? Because that's $30-some thousand.
A plan or something. If you want to take me to court to me, I don't know, but I'm just letting you know. Because you said something about DNA test.
Yeah, something gonna happen because I ain't playing about no 30 racks. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care if child or not. I love them, but you telling me they ain't mine, so I don't care about none of that.
All right, we about to go then.
Here are the results of the paternity test.
Well, what the fuck? Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
What?
Come on, bro.
What you doing all that for?
Read this paper. What the fuck this say?
What you mean?
Read what that say right there.
They need to do this over.
Nigga. I'm not the father. I'm not the father. I ain't paying no more child support.
They need to do this over.
I ain't paying no more child support, dog. I swear to God, I already knew it, bro. Is everything okay?
He only recently discovered the child isn't his after 8 months of paying child support. Although she pretended not to know, she had known all along that the child wasn't his. A lot of males have been duped into paying child support. In today's world, it's practically considered normal. Men who have been duped and coerced into paying child support for years on end for children who are not theirs are featured in a variety of publications, blogs, and videos daily. Like in the first clip, some men even wind themselves in prison. It still amazes me how vicious some women can be. Even though you knew he wasn't the father, you still had to see him serve 5 years in prison for failing to pay child support for a child that wasn't his. That's wickedness. It's likely that the man requested a DNA test but was turned down and sentenced to prison. Therefore, the laws in the nation have been twisted to favor women. If a DNA test isn't done, no male should sign a birth certificate claiming to be the father of any child. That is self-preservation and child protection on your part, not carelessness. A youngster who is raised by someone other than his father and discovers the truth later on is in no better position than a child who is raised in the absence of any father figure. Today's women are unaccountable and don't feel guilty about raising an illicit child for a man because there were so many traditional women in the world and it was so simple to trust one another in those days. Husbands did not see any reason to ask for a DNA test. In the world of today, trust is not simply bestowed. The practice of women having their husbands raise the children of other men has become a pandemic. For this reason, before assuming parental responsibility over a child, a man must exercise due care and ensure that the child is truly his. The absurd aspect of it all is that a woman who cheats on child support won't face any repercussions. It is a severe offense that traumatizes and devastates men on an emotional, financial, and psychological level. The father is required to pay child support in states like Florida and New York until the child becomes 18 or 21, respectively. A man may commit himself if he were to discover after 21 years of paying holder support that he is not the father. Imagine not being the father in this situation. Despite the harm that paternity fraud does to men, women are given preferential treatment by the legal system. Women are less likely to be charged in the first place, to be found guilty, or even to get a jail sentence. Instead, they are more likely to be given bail while they await trial. On the internet, we read that it is illegal for women to make fake child support claims, but in practice, this is never the case. Because it serves their interests, modern feminists are not upset that the legal system treats women less favorably than men.
Whenever I post about child support, someone reaches out angry about the fact that child support even exists. So here are 2 easy ways to avoid paying child support. Number one, do everything you can to avoid making a baby. That means you need to pull out, wear a condom. If she says that she's on birth control, don't believe her and do what you need to do, because no baby means no child support. Number two, if you decide that you do want to have a baby, make sure it's with somebody who you want to be with for 18 years. If you can't commit to her for 18 years, then don't have a baby. There are few things you can guarantee in the legal world, and child support is one of them. So if you don't want to pay child support, follow these tips.
Are you the father? If somebody comes and tells you that you are the father of a child they're about to give birth to or they've given birth to, listen, before you do anything with custody or child support or anything, get a DNA test to be certain. Please, you'll thank me later.
She's actually blocked on both pages.
And so are you suggesting that this allegation that you are the father is causing you emotional distress?
Yes,
as
Your
it
Honor.
would.
Yes,
and ma'am, I must tell you, if he is not the father, I am going to grant him a judgment for emotional distress, because that is the most extreme stress you could cause to a man.
Okay.
Accusing him. So we're going to get.
Excuse me. What about the
So we're going to get. And I've gotten all the facts I need.
You
now,
don't.
the only
Sir,
other
there's lots
question,
more.
yes, I do. The
For
fact
my emotional
is,
distress
you
and my
told me, yes,
harassment,
ma'am.
there's
Your
more.
facts were okay. Let's read this. You're doing all this big talking. Antonio Mosby is not the father.
Men wouldn't have as many problems with paternity fraud as we do now if all judges were like this. The legal system, as we are well aware, is completely biased against men. According to a New York Post article, a man was given a court order to pay $65,000 in child support for a child who is not his. This is following the results of the DNA test, which show that he is not the father. Despite this, the court nevertheless mandated that he pay child support. That should never happen to a man. A law is cruel and purposeful if it requires you to provide proof of your innocence beyond what is found in your DNA. It's a trap, not even deserving of the name legislation, before it's too late. My fellow men in relationships should be aware of these things. 1. If you are not prepared to shoulder the responsibility of paying child support, then avoid having children. Never let your guard down, and always look out for yourself. Let your partner and you come to a mutual decision to wait to have children until you are both ready. 2. Before taking on parental responsibilities, request a DNA test. You are not automatically the father just because you are the spouse. The pace at which modern women cheat is worrisome. If you are not positive that you are the father, do not sign the paternity form. 3. Refrain from signing the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity form as soon as the baby is delivered to the hospital. Regardless of how much you trust your partner, don't do it. For these contemporary women, trust is not a zero. Make sure you don't come to regret your choice. Never assume that the law will work in your favor. Take whatever necessary action to keep yourself out of tricky scenarios such as paternity fraud. These days, women are only interested in guys. Guys, don't get caught.